How people speak English. Mia watched others speak English with effortless grace, their words flowing like a river. She often wondered, how do people speak English so naturally? Their confidence was a stark contrast to her own quiet struggles. This initial observation fueled a hidden desire within her, a longing to join their fluent conversations one day. The thought of speaking English publicly filled Mia with dread. Yet, she knew deep down, practice was the only key. Why should you practice speaking, she pondered. Because without it, words remain trapped in the mind, unable to connect with the world. This realization was her first tiny step forward. Her instructor always emphasized why reading is important. Mia initially found it tedious, but soon discovered the magic. Books transported her to new worlds, silently building her vocabulary and understanding of sentence structures. Reading became less of a chore and more of a quiet adventure, expanding her linguistic horizons. Learning new words felt like an endless task. How to learn words effectively, she asked herself. Mia discovered context was everything. Instead of memorizing lists, she focused on understanding words within sentences and stories. She kept a small notebook, jotting down phrases, not just isolated terms, which truly cemented their meaning. Starting to talk seemed daunting, but her mentor advised, start step-by-step talking. Mia began with simple self-talk, describing her day aloud to an empty room. These quiet monologues, though awkward at first, built a foundation of confidence and articulation. Each tiny sentence was a victory in itself. The biggest hurdle was speaking with people. How to speak with people without feeling overwhelmed. Mia realized genuine connection was key. She started with low-stakes interactions, asking for directions or ordering coffee. These small exchanges gradually chipped away at her anxiety, making conversation less terrifying. Reading wasn't just for vocabulary, it was for fluency. Why must you read English consistently? It exposes you to authentic language, different accents, and cultural nuances. Mia found that reading diverse materials, from news articles to fiction, significantly improved her overall comprehension and natural expression. Improving listening skills was crucial. How to improve your listening skills, she wondered. Mia started listening to podcasts during her commute, focusing on understanding the general meaning before diving into specifics. She watched English movies with subtitles, then without, training her ear to unfamiliar sounds. Her overall strategy for how to learn English evolved. It wasn't about quick fixes, but consistent effort. Mia integrated English into her daily life, from setting her phone's language to thinking in English whenever possible. It became less a subject, more a lifestyle shift. The Talk in English, just one page per day challenge truly revolutionized her speaking. She picked a random page from a book and summarized it aloud, articulating her thoughts. This consistent, focused practice transformed her hesitant speech into a more fluid and confident expression. Mia often observed that how people speak English varies widely, from formal to casual. She realized there wasn't one correct way, but many nuances to understand. This understanding freed her from the pressure of perfection, allowing her to embrace her own unique voice. The fear of making mistakes had paralyzed her. But her breakthroughs came when she embraced the "why you should practice speaking" mantra. Every stumble was a learning opportunity, every awkward pause a chance to rephrase. Practice wasn't about perfection, but progress. Reading opened up vast reservoirs of knowledge. Why reading is important extended beyond language. It enriched her perspective. She devoured articles on topics she loved, making the learning process engaging and personally rewarding, transforming her into a curious and informed learner. When encountering new vocabulary, Mia learned how to learn words by associating them with images or personal experiences. She created mental pictures, making abstract concepts concrete. This method made words stick in her memory far more effectively than rote memorization ever could. Her start step-by-step talking approach also involved recording herself. Listening back, she identified areas for improvement in pronunciation and intonation. It was humbling but incredibly effective, providing objective feedback that helped her refine her spoken English meticulously. For how to speak with people, Mia sought out language exchange partners online. These conversations, though initially nerve-wracking, provided a safe space to practice and receive feedback. She learned that people were often patient and encouraging, easing her anxieties significantly. Mia understood why you must read English deeply now. It wasn't just about passive consumption, it was active engagement. She underlined unknown words, looked up idioms, and even tried to imitate sentence structure she admired, turning reading into a dynamic learning tool. To improve your listening skills, Mia started mimicking phrases she heard from native speakers. She paid close attention to rhythm and stress patterns, trying to replicate them. This active listening helped her not only understand better, but also sound more natural when speaking herself. Her holistic approach to how to learn English emphasized consistency over intensity. Short, daily sessions proved more effective than sporadic, long ones. She dedicated specific times each day, making English learning an ingrained habit rather than an occasional chore. The Talk in English just 1 page per day exercise became a ritual. It forced her to articulate complex ideas, not just simple sentences. This daily mental workout strengthened her ability to think directly in English, bridging the gap between comprehension and expression. Observing how people speak English in different contexts, Mia noticed the power of body language and intonation. She began to incorporate these nonverbal cues into her own communication, making her interactions more expressive and authentic. She realized why you should practice speaking was fundamentally about building muscle memory for the tongue and brain. The more she spoke, the less she had to consciously think about grammar rules, allowing for more spontaneous and natural conversation flow. Why reading is important also related to developing an intuitive feel for the language. Mia could now often sense if a sentence sounded right, even without explicitly knowing the grammar rule, a clear sign of deep linguistic immersion. For how to learn words, Mia started using flashcards with example sentences, not just definitions. This reinforced the word's usage in context, making it easier to recall and apply correctly in her own speech and writing. Start step-by-step talking also meant not shying away from simple phrases. Mia understood that mastering basic greetings and common expressions provided a strong foundation before attempting more complex discourse, building confidence progressively. How to speak with people often involved active listening. Mia learned to truly listen to what others said, asking clarifying questions. This showed engagement and also bought her time to formulate her own responses more thoughtfully. She understood why you must read English for cultural immersion. Novels offered insights into different ways of life, enriching her understanding of English-speaking cultures, which in turn made her communication more culturally sensitive and appropriate. To improve your listening skills, Mia challenged herself to listen to challenging content, like academic lectures or fast-paced dialogues, even if she only grasped fragments. This exposure gradually expanded her capacity to understand various accents and speaking speeds. Her overall approach for how to learn English became highly personalized. Mia identified her strengths and weaknesses, tailoring her study methods to address specific areas requiring improvement, making her learning journey efficient and enjoyable. The Talk in English, just 1 page per day habit cultivated discipline. It was a manageable goal that prevented burnout and ensured consistent engagement, proving that small, daily efforts accumulate into significant progress over time. Mia started noticing the subtle differences in how people speak English based on their region or social group. She found this fascinating, a window into linguistic diversity, which further fueled her curiosity and desire to learn more. She discovered that why you should practice speaking extended to improved memory retention. Articulating new vocabulary and grammar helped solidify them in her mind, making recall much faster during actual conversations. Why reading is important also provided a vast array of topics for conversation. Mia could discuss books, articles, or news stories she had read, giving her plenty of material to engage with others on a deeper level. Regarding how to learn words, Mia created thematic word lists. Grouping words by topic, e.g., food, travel, emotions, helped her build related vocabulary clusters, making it easier to express herself comprehensively on specific subjects. Her start step-by-step talking process included using sentence starters. Phrases like, "I think that," or, "in my opinion," gave her a framework to express complex thoughts, reducing the initial hesitation and facilitating smoother discourse. For how to speak with people, Mia learned the importance of asking open-ended questions. This encouraged others to speak more, providing her with more listening practice and less pressure to carry the conversation herself, fostering natural dialogue. Why you must read English also fostered critical thinking. Analyzing arguments in articles or character motivations in novels sharpened her analytical skills, which indirectly improved her ability to form coherent arguments in English. To improve your listening skills, Mia used online resources that offered transcripts. She would listen, then read along, then listen again, bridging the gap between auditory and textual comprehension, making the process highly effective. Her philosophy for how to learn English transformed from mere acquisition to active application. She didn't just learn rules, she used them, making English a practical tool for communication rather than a theoretical subject. The Talk in English, just 1 page per day strategy not only improved her speaking, but also enhanced her comprehension. Summarizing a text required her to truly grasp its essence, deepening her understanding of the content. Mia admired how people speak English with different accents and learned to appreciate the global nature of the language. She embraced her own accent, realizing that clarity, not perfect native pronunciation, was the ultimate goal. She firmly believed why you should practice speaking daily. Consistency built confidence, and confidence reduced anxiety. Each spoken word, no matter how small, chipped away at the mental blocks that once held her back. Why reading is important became evident in her improved writing. The exposure to well-structured sentences and diverse vocabulary through reading naturally transferred into her own written expression, enhancing clarity and style. When considering how to learn words, Mia started using mnemonics. Creating funny or memorable associations with new words made them easier to recall, turning a tedious task into a creative and enjoyable exercise. Her start step-by-step talking involved narrating her daily activities to herself. I am making coffee. I am reading this paragraph. This simple, continuous self-talk trained her brain to operate in English, reducing translation time. How to speak with people also involved being comfortable with silence. Mia learned that a brief pause was acceptable, allowing her time to formulate thoughts rather than rushing and making more mistakes, making conversations less stressful. Mia understood why you must read English for staying current. News, scientific articles, and online discussions often appeared first in English, making reading a vital skill for accessing global information and trends. To improve your listening skills, Mia practiced shadowing. She would listen to a short audio clip and immediately try to repeat it, mimicking the speaker's rhythm and intonation. This active drill significantly sharpened her auditory perception. How to learn English ultimately became about creating an immersive environment. Mia transformed her home into an English zone, labeling objects, listening to English music, and watching English shows, making learning constant and effortless. The Talk in English, just 1 page per day commitment was the anchor of her progress. It provided a structured, achievable daily target that propelled her forward, turning aspiration into tangible, consistent improvement. Mia's journey highlighted that how people speak English is diverse, embracing various styles and accents. Her goal shifted from sounding perfect to being understood clearly and confidently, an empowering realization. She recognized that why you should practice speaking isn't about perfection on day one. It's about gradual improvement, embracing mistakes as valuable lessons, and building the fluency muscle through consistent, brave attempts. Why reading is important became undeniable. It was the silent mentor, constantly introducing new ideas, expanding vocabulary, and refining her understanding of English grammar without the pressure of direct conversation. For how to learn words, Mia realized the power of spaced repetition. Reviewing words at increasing intervals helped them transition from short-term to long-term memory, ensuring robust vocabulary retention for confident usage. Her initial reluctance to start step-by-step talking transformed into eager participation. Each small conversation built on the last, demonstrating that consistent, deliberate effort truly paved the path to fluent and confident English communication.